the Constitutional Court ordering the former president to abide by a summons to appear before the State Capture Commission and give evidence before it. The decision means that should Zuma not appear on February 15 as per the summons and without good cause, he would not only be in breach of the Commissions Act, but would also be in breach of an order of the highest court in the land. Now, the Helen Suzman Foundation is one of two organizations named as an amicus curiae, or friend of the court. From the foundation, legal researcher Chris Pieters, good afternoon to you and welcome. I want to start with this. The court was right, I imagine you're going to say to us, that the matter should have been dealt with more quickly, more expeditiously. The court was critical of the Commission in that respect, was it not?
Firstly, thank you very much for having me on your show. It is always a pleasure. The court did go through extensive detail, just setting out how the Commission found itself in the Constitutional Court on the 29th of December last year. And if you sat in the courts and you heard the justice handed down, you almost felt that the Commission was the author of its own misfortune and that the judgment would have gone an entirely different way until it suddenly took a very comforting left turn to all of us, and I believe the Commission in particular.
What role now does the Helen Suzman Foundation play in terms of being a friend of the court or an amicus curiae? Explain that to us.
So what we, in effect, do is we bring a novel argument before the court. So we add to what's already being said, but we don't bring new facts or new material. We just almost bring a new way of interpreting the facts before the court. And our interpretation rather was that everyone has the right to truth, and that what the Commission is in fact doing is it is a truth seeker. And as such, everyone who gives testimony there is in rather a nice role, as it were, to give the truth that we're all entitled to hearing.
Chris, I'm trying to break this down simplistically, if I can. If the former president still declines to attend, what would happen then?
Well, there are already criminal charges pending against the president for his former refusal. What would then come down to is the Commission would then have to take the appropriate steps and would then have to open up, I imagine, further criminal charges. And we'd have to go from there. But all of this would then be, if the president refuses, it would then be between his legal team, as the judgment pointed out, and that of the Commission.
Does the Commission have a tough time? Because it also said that he cannot invoke the right to remain silent, but also cannot lay blanket claim to self-incrimination. How is that, do you think, going to emerge, if at all, in the proceedings on the 15th when they occur?
So thankfully what the judgment did set out today was in what circumstances and how someone giving testimony could say, listen, I can't testify on this because I'm going to incriminate myself. There is a few steps that the judges put out, and he's going to have a tough time trying to convince everyone, I believe, on that date that he can't just give a blanket denial. He's going to have to go into some detail as to why the privilege should extend to him. And I think his lawyers will be worth their pay if they manage to get that right. I
think what you're saying is that there's the inevitability of stonewalling. Are you confident then, as a friend of the court, that the Commission is going to get the answers that it needs, that it wants?
We'll only be able to see that on the day. We all have hopes, but those hopes may very well be dashed on the day.
And the level of bias and impartiality, which was the argument that the former president put forward in the first place, that was never going to fly with the Constitutional Court. That was shot down in flames very quickly, wasn't it?
So what wasn't put before the Constitutional Court was anything by the former president. I believe there was a letter sent to the Constitutional Court saying that he would in no way partake in any of these processes, and that is ultimately why all the evidence put forward was that of the commissions.
I am going to thank you, Chris Pieters from the Helen Suzman Foundation. Thank you very much for joining us.